Have you been thinking about moving to Detroit or within Detroit but don't quite know which area to choose? This video is going to break down 5 of my top picks for neighborhoods that are up and coming or well established that make great places for people to move or invest. What's going on? My name is Ed Butler. I make videos about living, working, eating, sleeping, and playing in Detroit. And if that's something that you want to tune into, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that I put out. I'm also a full-time realtor, and if you're thinking about moving to Detroit or within Detroit, feel free to reach out. All my information is down below. I love to have your back in your home buying or selling journey. And with that, let's hop into the video. Starting off, I wanted to hop into an area that I really like, and it's a very quiet kept neighborhood that has a low entry point, but some really nice homes that are available there. And that's going to be Blackstone Park. Blackstone Park is going to be located south of 8 Mile, north of Pembroke, west of Myers, and then east of Schaefer. We're gonna be looking to purchase a house in Blackstone Park. You're gonna be looking at probably about $106,000. That was the average sale price of the home that sold this past year. And with that, you're looking at about $85,000 per square foot. So you can do the math to figure out how large the homes are on average there. This community is a nice, well-kept, kind of homeowner, more established, older demographic in the area, and surrounded by a few other neighborhoods that are very much similar to it, but Blackstone kind of stands out to me as being one of the best ones over there in that little triad. Moving not too far from Blackstone Park, we're gonna have another neighborhood that is very similar in how the demographics are and similar to who kind of lives there. And that's gonna be Bergen. Bergen is gonna be south of 8 Mile, it's gonna be west of Lasher, and then east of Berg, and then north of 7 Mile. Creating a nice little square neighborhood boundary for you to check out. And similar price points to Blackstone Park, be looking at an average price point of right around $102,000 if you wanna purchase there of all the homes that sold in the last 12 months. And you'll also be looking at about $85 per square foot on average for property in this area. So what makes this area so attractive is that it's pretty much been well kept all throughout the years. This is where you're gonna go and see grandma's house that was passed down to the kids, and then generations have been living in these homes for years and years. And also the home prices are steadily rising in this area. Over the last year, they've risen about 21% year over year. All right, the next one, we're gonna jump a little bit up in the price point. So this is gonna be a little bit more affluent area for sure. And that's gonna be Green Acres. Sticking with our theme on 8 Mile Road, we're looking at Green Acres being south of 8 Mile, west of the Detroit Golf Club, east of Livernois, and then north of Pembroke. And if you want to buy in Green Acres, you're gonna be looking at an average price point of about $221,000, with the average price per square foot being right around $128. These properties are a little bit larger than the other two that we spoke of. And Green Acres, it has a mix of duplexes and single family homes that are very stately inside. That's what I really like it, because if you want to buy a duplex that's in a really nice area, this is a good place to look at. But they come up very few and far between. So when they hit the market, you gotta be looking fast. Also, it borders Sherwood Forest. So, you know, pretty much if you don't wanna pay the Sherwood Forest price point, but get a very similar feel, then Green Acres is a spot that you kind of want to look at. All right, moving right along, we got one that has definitely been on the radar for me and jumped up very recently. And that's going to be the Grandmont 1 neighborhood. Grandmont 1 is going to be south of Linden. It's going to be west of the Southfield Freeway, east of Piedmont, and north of Schoolcraft. And if you want to buy a property in this location, you're looking at on average about $162,000, and you're looking at $109 per square foot. Now, this one, I had to be honest, this one jumped up on my radar very recently because I just put a home under contract for one of my subscribers, actually, who became my clients. And man, the house is beautiful. The neighborhood is gorgeous. I pulled up to the showing and I looked around and I'm like, man, this neighborhood is awesome. I even put a poll, I took a picture of the neighborhood and I put a poll on my Instagram story and said, hey, where am I? Am I in Detroit, Ferndale, or Grosse Pointe? Because that's how amazing the block looked. So really excited for those clients, and definitely one to look at if you're looking for a really nice area at a very conservative price point. All right, last but not least, probably the best one on this list for sure, and one that I don't talk about quite enough, and you guys always tell me about it in the comments. And that's gonna be Rosedale Park in North Rosedale Park. Its location is gonna be south of 6 Mile or McNichols. It's gonna be west of the Southfield Freeway, east of Evergreen, and north of Linden Avenue. So that's the kind of wide boundaries. Each of those are gonna have a little bit of a curve to them. And then also don't forget that separating Rosedale Park and North Rosedale Park is Grand River Avenue. So Grand River cuts like this. On top of it is gonna be North Rosedale. On the south of it is gonna be Rosedale Park. Now you're probably listening and saying like, okay, isn't this the same neighborhood? Why would you separate them? Well, they are very similar in neighborhood, but very different. So North Rosedale is definitely gonna be at a little bit higher price point than Rosedale Park, but they're both gonna be very nice. And they actually run together with North Rosedale, Rosedale, and then Grandmont, because they're all stacked on top of each other in the same area. So you can imagine how solid this area is. So I'll start on the price point with Rosedale Park. So on average, in the last year, you would have needed about $167,000 to purchase in Rosedale Park. And you were going to be looking at $111 per square foot. Now, if you wanted to purchase in North Rosedale Park, you just cross that Grand River Street and go up. And we're looking at average price point of about $207,000 with $110,000 per square feet. So you can see that just with the price per square foot, and these prices are a little bit larger than the Rosedale Park counterparts. I think on average, the house that was sold down there last year was about 1,900 square feet. And this area is just amazing. You have to see it for yourself, but people rave about it. There's a bunch of historical societies about this area. I'm actually a part of one on a Facebook group where people chime in, oh, I grew up here in 1950 and Stevie Wonder was my neighborhood and Diana Ross and da-da-da-da. So it's a really cool area with a lot of history. Majority of it was started in 1917 and the main architect was Albert Kahn. So there's a lot of historical significance, and which is kind of cool in the area that there's no just one style of house that is there. It kind of runs the gamut of different houses and architectural styles that are there. So there's something for everybody on that shopping list. That's it for me on this video. I hope you enjoyed and got a lot of it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, tap subscribe, so you don't miss any of the videos I put out. I'll be making more with different neighborhoods in Detroit, giving you a little bit of peek inside the tent. And as always, if you need any help buying or selling or investing in Detroit, feel free to reach out. All my information is down below. I love to have your back on your home buying, selling, or investing journey. And I'll catch you on the next one.